The universe is a symphony, but the resonance reapers only knew one note, the frequency of death. When they arrived in our star system, they didn't bring the fire of plasma or the weight of tungsten. They brought the unheard death. Their ships were massive, bell-shaped monoliths that emitted low-frequency infrasound vibrations so deep they bypassed our ears and went straight for our molecules. We watched in helpless agony as our strongest soldiers, protected by inches of reinforced steel, simply melted. Their organs liquefied inside their skin, their bones vibrated until they turned to powder. To the Reapers, humanity was a discordant species, a collection of vibrating atoms that needed to be tuned into the silence of the void. They viewed our screams not as a sign of suffering, but as a byproduct of their biological cleaning process. They thought the air was their weapon. They assumed that because we were biological, we were soft, subject to the laws of resonance that could tear a bridge apart. They believed that by turning the atmosphere against us, they had found a war we couldn't win. They were wrong. They forgot that the human heart is a drum, and our history is a crescendo of noise. We didn't just learn to endure the vibration, we learned to paint the battlefield with it. We created the acoustic leech protocol, and we birthed the 9th Shock Battalion, the vibro painters. We don't use standard ear protection. We don't hide in soundproof bunkers. We wear echo chamber power armor, massive bronze-tinted suits covered in millions of microscopic kinetic acoustic tiles. These tiles don't block the Reaper's sonic beams, they harvest them. The armor acts as a giant capacitor for vibration, sucking the energy out of the air and storing it in high-density resonance cells mounted on our backs. We are the only soldiers in the galaxy who get stronger the louder the enemy screams. We don't fire bullets, we fire the very sound that was meant to kill us. We are the vibro painters, and we are about to play a masterpiece of violence. I am Commander Echo Vane. My armor is currently vibrating at a frequency that would turn a tank into a puddle. And I'm about to deliver the punchline. The mission was the assault on the Siren Spire, in the center of the Reaper-occupied sector. The spire was a 3-mile-tall crystalline antenna that was projecting a planetary-scale kill-hum, a vibration designed to sterilize the Earth of all complex life within 48 hours. Armor sync at maximum. Let the noise in. I roared into the haptic link. The vibration in my lungs made my voice sound like a landslide. Painter 2 Sarah, cells at 80%. My suit is glowing echo. The Reapers are screaming and I'm feeling the beat. Painter 3 Kale, I can feel my teeth humming. The frequency is climbing. They're trying to find our breaking point. We dropped from the high-altitude stealth carriers, falling through the vocal canyon, a jagged landscape of crystalline rock that amplified the Reaper's sonic beams. As we fell, the kill-hum hit us. A normal man would have disintegrated before hitting the ground. But as the sound waves struck our echo chamber armor, the bronze plates began to glow with a brilliant, pulsing orange light. The tiles on my chest rippled like water, absorbing the kinetic energy and funneling it into my gauntlets. Contact. Screen guard at 6 o'clock. The screen guard emerged from the crystalline shadows. They were 10-foot-tall horrors with heads shaped like tuning forks and bodies made of translucent, vibrating glass. They raised their long, spindly arms, and a focused beam of purple sound erupted from their palms. The beam hit me dead center. My HUD flickered red, kinetic absorption at 95%. Potential energy overload imminent. Thanks for the recharge, you glass bastards. I didn't fire a gun. I lunged forward, my thrusters leaving a wake of distorted air. I reached the first screen guard and swung my right gauntlet in a horizontal arc. I didn't just hit him, I released the stored energy of 1,000 sonic beams. Carry-go-em. The impact created a visible, spherical shockwave that shattered every crystalline formation within 100 yards. The screen guard didn't just break, its molecular structure was pulverized by the very frequency it had tried to use on me. The alien disintegrated into a cloud of fine glass dust, the purple light in its eyes extinguished by the roar of my strike. Keep the momentum. The louder they get, the harder we hit. We sprinted through the canyon, a trio of glowing orange meteors in a world of purple shadows. The Reapers realized their primary weapon was failing. They shifted their frequency, moving from the infrasound kill-hum to a high-pitched ultrasonic shatter scream. The air began to shimmer with the intensity of the sound. The ground beneath our boots turned to liquid sand as the rocks were vibrated into dust. Sarah. Kel. Resonance link. We stood back to back, locking our armor plates together. We created a perfect acoustic loop. The sound waves hitting one of us were passed through the entire trio, building in intensity as they cycled through our kinetic cells. We were no longer just absorbing the sound, we were amplifying it, turning our squad into a living, breathing sonic bomb. A resonance colossus, a massive, centipede-like machine made of vibrating obsidian, burst from the canyon wall. It opened its gargantuan maw and unleashed a nova scream, a concentrated blast of sound that could level a mountain range. The blast hit our linked phalanx. The ground beneath us buckled, creating a crater 50 feet deep. Our suits turned a blinding, white-hot orange as the energy cells reached critical capacity. Now, paint the world. We released the energy simultaneously. The countershock wasn't a sound, it was a physical erasure of the environment. A massive orange wave of kinetic force rippled outward from our position. The resonance colossus, caught in the heart of the wave, didn't stand a chance. Its obsidian armor vibrated until it shattered into a billion pieces. The shock wave continued, traveling through the canyon walls, causing the entire landscape to collapse into a pile of silent rubble. The spire is exposed. Pushed to the core. We reached the base of the Siren Spire. The crystalline structure was vibrating so hard it was glowing with a violet light that blinded our sensors. In the center of the spire was the Echo Core, a rotating crystal the size of a house that generated the planetary kill frequency. Echo, the pressure is too high. The suits are starting to crack. Sarah yelled, her armor sparking as the tiles began to fail under the extreme vibration. One final hit. Give it everything you've got. I leaped toward the Echo Core, my thrusters at maximum. I felt the vibration trying to tear my suit apart, the bronze plating peeling away as the sound reached levels that physics shouldn't allow. I reached the core and jammed both of my gauntlets into the spinning crystal. Here's your symphony. I triggered the total cell bleed. I didn't just release the energy in my gauntlets, I opened the floodgates for every ounce of kinetic energy stored in my suit. The result was a sonic singularity. For a split second, the Siren Spire became the loudest place in the universe. The Echo Core didn't just shatter, it underwent a total harmonic collapse. The vibration was so powerful it turned the massive crystal into gas. The spire, deprived of its core, began to vibrate itself to pieces. A 3-mile-high needle of crystal crumbled into the canyon, a rain of glass that covered the sector in a shroud of white dust. The kill hum stopped. The silence that followed was absolute. Not the silence of death the Reapers wanted, but the beautiful, ringing silence of victory. Across the planet, the Reapers' ships, connected to the spire's frequency, lost their internal cohesion. Without the steady thrum of their homeworld's vibration to hold their crystalline bodies together, they simply fell apart, turning into piles of harmless glass on our battlefields. I stood in the center of the ruins, my armor dull and scorched, the bronze tiles shattered and useless. I pulled off my helmet and took a breath of the dust-heavy air. My ears were ringing and my body felt like it was still vibrating, but the world was quiet. The Reapers were gone. The unheard death had been silenced by a louder roar. Humanity has proven the ultimate truth of the apex retribution. You can bring the silence of the void. You can try to liquefy our hearts with the vibration of the stars. You can tell us that we are just a collection of fragile atoms. But we are the species that knows how to make noise. We are the ones who don't just endure the scream, we make it our own. We are the vibropainters. We are the 9th Shock Battalion. And the music of this world belongs to us. The spire is dust. The core is gone. The silence is ours. The mission is over. Now someone get me some earplugs. I think I've heard enough for a lifetime.